And welcome back to Curtis High School. What a ball game tonight as the Vikings hold on and hold off a stout run from Olympia, 51-44. The Vikings turn away the big comeback of the Bears, who got it down to 2 points. They were down by 12. Actually, they were down by 17 with about a minute 40 left to go in the half. Got that down to 12 at the break. Got it to 7 after 3. Got it all the way down to 2, Joe. Couldn't get over that hump. And we know when you get that far behind, we see it all the time. We see these big comebacks, but it's really rare to see a team be able to have enough mustard to get all the way over the top and come back and actually grab that win. The Vikings dug in, had a little bit left, able to hold off. And again, for the Bears, they had a couple of chances. They didn't convert. And when you get down to that, every possession counts, and they just didn't convert on a couple of them, and that was the difference late in the game.
Yeah, they didn't. And, when you're down that far, well, their comeback started pretty early in that second half. So they had a lot of time. They were patient. They ramped up their quickness on offense. Parker Garrett's, the junior guard for Olympia, had a fantastic second half with 14 points, 2 out of 3 threes. They made some nice passes, and they played good defense as well. They didn't really have an answer for Zoom Diallo most of the game, but they did it without pressing because they started the comeback early, and it was a really exciting fourth quarter. But free throw shooting was really good by Curtis. They ended up 15 out of 18 for the game, so that helped salt the win away.
We can talk. Everyone can take a look at the missed lay-in late. The other thing you want to maybe look at, though, is if Engholm isn't fouled out, it's probably him getting the ball in that position.
Well, that's true too. He was super effective inside. He hit 6 out of 8 as it was from the field. And
let's go through the numbers. You got those there for you.
Yeah. Zoom Diallo for the winning team, 21 points, 7 of 12 from the field. He hit 2 out of 4 threes, 4 out of 5 from the line. Big assist late to his real solid teammate, Sinquay Maxwell, who had 15 points on 6 out of 8 shooting and 3 out of 4 from the line. Trent Williams contributed 5. Devin Witten didn't score but played a pretty good floor game. Tice Paulson was really active for Curtis. Not a big scoring second half, just 2 points for him in the second half, but 9 for the game. And Zoom Diallo was just there to hold the ball, start the offense, finish the offense many times. And 21 points for him, 15 once again for Maxwell on the winning side for Curtis. Olympia was led by Parker Garrett, who had looked like a good ball player in the first half and really came through in the second half. He hit 6 out of 11 in the second half.
I think it really helped his offense when they got him off of handling the ball, and he ended up receiving the pass a lot of times there. And Mason Juergens did a nice job of stepping in that second half, handling the ball for him.
Juergens played a really solid floor game. Didn't shoot in the first half, but hit 2 out of 3 in the second. Was part of their comeback with that three-pointer and the layup. Made some nice assists. He ended up with 5. Anders Engholm, the 6'7", postman, had 12 points on 6 out of 8. Got in foul trouble. Parker Fouts, although he missed that layup late, he did contribute with 4 points and went to the right spots out there. Drew Carlson with 2 points. Caden Roth didn't score tonight, 0 for 7 in the first half. He was there in the second with, I can remember, 2 really fine assists, and he also threw the pass to Parker Fouts that would have been yet another assist. So a good floor game by Caden Roth to help bring Olympia back.
Well, and if you're a shooter, and I think he was 0 for 7 in the first, he didn't even take a shot in the second half.
He did not take a shshot.
He just, I'm going to play defense and I'm going to pass it. It's just not my night. Hitting the shots, and sometimes you know yourself better than anyone, and so he contributed in other ways that. Really helped the comeback.
He did. He made some fine passes, and thought he had a steal there late in the game that would have been key as well. Free throw shooting, good defense. Zoom Diallo was the top player out there. in the game, and he didn't score to make the big bucket of the game, but he assisted it to keep him with that cushion in the last minute, and they end up winning by 7 points.
Yep. With the win, the Curtis Vikings improved to 12-3. Olympia drops to 13-3. I'm not sure if that counts against their league schedules because they're in two different divisions. So I'm actually going to ask that question before I leave tonight. We'll have it in our recap. Time for our MVPs, though. Let's start with the visiting team, the Olympia Bears. And Joe, I don't know how we get around Parker Garrett's, to tell you the truth.
No, he was he's an offensive talent. He is a real offensive talent. He can handle the ball, as he showed in the first half, bringing it up the court. He's got steps. He's got reverse moves off the dribble and 3-point shots. Well, he was 3 for 5 from 3, and a couple of big ones there to narrow that gap. I think it got as low as 2, didn't it?
Yeah, got down to 2. I would say, Mason Juergens had a really spectacular second half in his overall play, and also Andreas Engholm. If he doesn't foul out in there, he may have had a claim. There are many ways for businesses to expand their customer base, but one of the tried and Sorry, folks, I accidentally started something here. I did not mean to do that. So let's recap that real quick for you. Parker Garrett's will be our MVP for the Olympia Bears.
21 points.
21 points, and especially in that second half. Or for our MVP for the Curtis Vikings, I know it's going to be easy to say Zoom Diallo, but man, Cinque Maxwell played such a steady game on defense. Rebounds, assisting, scoring at the free throw line, all 4 quarters. He was solid as a rock. Tice Paulson, great aggressiveness out there. We could make a case for a couple here, but, Zoom, down the stretch when it really counted, the ball was in his hand, Joe, and when that happens, I have a hard time saying that it's anyone else. If he's a guy you're trusting to have the ball in your hand when it counts at the end, I think we got to kind of lean towards Zoom.
He made his free throws. He made the big assist on the big bucket of the game. Plus, he scored 21 points overall. He was their top player. But Cinque Maxwell, wow, he's one of those guys that he can guard anybody. He guarded Anders Engholm, made it tough on him. He's got hands. He's got quickness. He's competitive. He plays smart. 15 points on 6 out of 8 shooting for him. So. They have a solid, scrappy team with that really tough man-to-man defense.
Cinque might be one of those players that is not an MVP player on any particular game, but by the time you're done looking at the entire season, he may be the MVP of your team because he plays so solidly and consistently. And by the way, folks, there's good news. We see the official that went down walking off under his own power, so that's very good news to see him walk off under there.
It is.
And that is a good sign.
He was in some discomfort over there with whatever happened in the lower leg. But,
he's limping a little there, as you can see, but he's under his own power, so that is good news. So.
You know that Curtis Tice Paulson and Cinque Maxwell are juniors, and Zoom Diallo is a sophomore.
Yes.
Wow. Witten's a sophomore.
Yeah. They're gonna be a little tough here for the next couple of years, I think, for sure. All right, Joe, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you for jumping on. I really appreciate it. It would have been a heck of a night for me to have to do it by myself. Joe was not a late scratch, but a late entry as well, and I appreciate that.
Enjoyed the game.
And we'll catch you next time. Keep checking our schedule for our next broadcast one last time. 51-44, the Curtis Vikings get it done at home against the Olympia Bears. We'll see you next time here on the Eli and FHS Sports Networks.